So today we're continuing on in Module 4 with Lesson 18, and you can see that your learning goal is the same as yesterday. Yesterday and today your learning goal was both I can relate decimal and fraction multiplication. So what that tells you is today we're really just adding on to what we learned yesterday or what we talked about yesterday. Now, today's lesson is just like yesterday where we have to change decimals to fractions to help us multiply, but today we're adding an extra technique or extra strategy, and that's called unit form. Okay, so today it says to multiply using fraction form and unit form. Now, fraction form we know are fractions, and unit form is when you call a number by its place value. So like 3 tens. What number is 3 tens? 30, right? So the unit form of 30 would be 3 tens. Or 3.1 would be 31, what? Tenths. Okay, so that's what unit form means. Okay, and then it says check your answer by counting the decimal places. I'll show you what that means. But get started by writing down this problem. 3.3 times 0.8. We're going to first write it in fraction form. 3.3 is what fraction, you guys? 33 over 10. Very good. And 0.8 is what fraction? 8 over 10. Okay, so then we can multiply. In the numerator, we have 33 times 8. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know how to do that in my head. Does that mean I can't do it? No, I just write it out using the standard algorithm. So I have 33 times 8. What's 8 times 3? 24. So I write it down and put the 2's over there. And then 3 times 8 again is 24, but then I have to plus 2, which is 26. So I know that in the numerators, 33 times 8 is 264. And in the denominators, I have 10 times 10, which is 100. So I have 264 hundredths. Today, I always want you to write it back into decimals. Is it easy to write that into decimals? Yeah. If I have 264 hundredths, how do I write that as decimals? Well, it's 2.64 because that's 264 hundredths. Now let's look at unit form. If I have 3.3, that's 33 what units? Tenths. Remember, to figure out unit form, you just look at what the rightmost. First, you ignore the decimal point. If I ignore the decimal point, it's 33, right? Then I look at the rightmost place value, and that's the tenths. So it's 33 tenths. Now for 0.8, if I ignore the decimal point first, what number do I have? 8. And then I look at the rightmost decimal, or the rightmost place value. It's 8 whats? 8 tenths. So to write unit form, you just write it like this. In standard algorithm, but then you write out each number in unit form. So here I have 33 tenths times 8 tenths. In your notes, I want you to make sure you write it like this so that you know you have a model to follow. Then we multiply just the numbers. 33 times 8. Well, we can use standard algorithm. 8 times 3 is 24. Put the 2 over there. And then 8 times 3 again is 24, but plus 2 is 26. So I get 264. But then I need to look at the place values, the units. I have tenths times tenths. If I have 1 tenth times 1 tenth, what do I get? 100th, right? Because 1 tenth of a tenth is 100th. So tenths times tenths is hundredths. So then the unit would be hundredths in the answer. Okay. Then again, can I go from unit form, 264 hundredths, to decimals? Yeah. I just write the number, 264, and then I know that I want the 4, the rightmost number, to be in the hundredths place. So where would I need to put the decimal? Well, if I put the decimal right here, the 4 is in what place? 1. If I put the decimal right here, the 4 is in what place? Tenths. If I put the decimal here, the 4 is in what place? That's what I want. If I put the decimal here, the 4 is in what place? Thousand. So I need it to go right here. Okay. So you can see that we got the same answer using unit form and fraction form. Really quickly, I want to prove to you that 1 tenth times 1 tenth is 100th. Okay? We know that 1 tenth times 1 tenth is the same thing as 1 tenth of 1 tenth, right? Yeah. So if I have 1 tenth and I divide it into 10 equal sized portions, one of those is 100th. Do you agree? Yeah. So that's why I know tenths times tenths is 100th. What's tenths times 1? Ones. If I have tenths times ones, what do I have? Tenths. If I have tenths times hundredths, what do I have?
Thousands.
Thousands. If I have hundreds times ones, what do I have?
Hundreds.
So you can see how when you multiply different units, you see what units you get, yes? Okay. Now, the last part says check your answer by counting the decimal places. I'm going to look at the factors and see how many numbers I have after the decimal point. In 3.3, how many numbers do I have in the decimals? 1, right? What about in 0.8? 1. So because I have 1 plus 1, altogether in the factors, I have 2 numbers after the decimal point, right? That means in the product, I also need to have 2 numbers after the decimal point. Is that what I have? So that's how you check your answers by counting the decimal points. By looking at the fraction form and the unit form, we can see that actually it's the exact same thing, isn't it? Just one's written out using fractions and one's written out using words. Okay?